Hello everyone, and welcome to the Tatted Tatter Crochet and Tatting podcast. This is episode 7. My name is Stephanie, and I'm coming to you from La Mirada, California, which is near Disneyland. And this is a crochet podcast, tatting podcast. Now there's some cross stitch and some embroidery and paper crafting and any of the other crafty related things that I'm working on. You can find me online as The Tatted Tatter on Ravelry and Tatted Tatter on Instagram, which is where I'm most active, is on Instagram. And then I do put all of my projects on Ravelry. So I have show notes down at the bottom underneath this video on YouTube. And sometimes when mostly with my finished objects, I'll put a link to my Ravelry project so you have all of the information in one place. So if you're not on Ravelry, then you're not going to have access to a lot of the patterns. So I hope you are. So let's go ahead and get started. I do want to say welcome to anyone who's watching these videos for the first time, and welcome back to any returning viewers. Please do like this video, comment, subscribe, and if you hit the little bell next to the subscribe button, you'll get all of the notifications for my future videos. And I love seeing all of the comments and people's suggestions and things they like, and suggestions for other podcasters and patterns and projects and all kinds of amazing things. So it's been a lot of fun, and we will go ahead and get started with this episode 7. So we usually start the episode with what I'm wearing, and I'll show you my shawl with finished objects. And then I also like to show a tattoo because I call myself the Tatted Tatter. So I think it's interesting to see my various tattoos. And so I'll put up a picture. This tattoo is on this shoulder here. You can see your little feetsies. This is an owl. I showed you a different owl last week. I really do love owls. And this one was also done by Milky at Fat Kid in Escondido, California. And it was done in August 2011, so it's been a while. And it's just a beautiful owl. The, what do they call that? The reference photo was of a baby owl, so it's kind of got that feel. But the colors are gorgeous, and I really do love owls. And just how beautiful they are and kind of how mysterious they are. And so, yeah. Owl tattoo. And a funny story about that one, that was right after my husband and I first started dating. I think it was the first time he visited California, because we met when we were living in Virginia. And so it's the first time he's met my family. And of course I decided to go get a tattoo while I was home from my favorite shop. And my husband is not a fan of needles. He likes my tattoos. He would never get one. And he was in there in the shop with me, and he also wears glasses, and so he took off his glasses while I was getting my tattoo, so they didn't have to see the needles and stuff. It was pretty funny. Anyway, it's a good one, and I like it. So finished objects, and the other half of what I'm wearing. So this beauty is my blur shawl. So I finally finished it. And blocked it and everything. I've worn it a couple times now. I'm not going to take it off because, one, it's huge, so people will see the whole thing anyway, and 2, it's so big that it's takes time to get it on. So you see I have my shawl pin and everything. But I will post a couple of pictures that I took. My husband Adam took some of those photos for me, and it's absolutely gorgeous, and I love it. And I told you when I finished it I would give you some more details on how it came to be. So the pattern is by Deanne. What? Peanut is whining at something outside. She'll be fine. Deanne of Addie Day Designs designed the pattern. It's called the Blur. Oh, and now she's messing with my lighting by moving the curtains. Hold on one second. Peanut. That's better. Still blowing out a lot over there, but just ignore that side of the of the video. Okay, pattern. Deanne of Addie Day Designs. And the yarn is from Molly Klein of Molly Klein Designs. I'll give you some more details about that as I tell the story. So, hopefully you've heard of Claudia of Crochet Luna podcast. If you haven't, go watch it. It's amazing, and I love her. And she actually just started a Spanish-speaking podcast, too, so I don't know if she's released a video yet, but she is doing that. And she's speaking Spanish. It's a Spanish language podcast. But she did the fortune cookie cal for Lunar New Year, which started on February 16th, I think, last month. And the idea is that you get a fortune cookie, which I learned from her were invented in California. So not everywhere has fortune cookies. And I did not, I mean, I knew that, no, I didn't know that. I had no idea. I thought that all Chinese American food came with fortune cookies. Anyway, and you take a fortune cookie or a fortune cookie generator online and you see what the fortune says, and then you make something based off of that fortune. So my fortune that I got when I went out to dinner with my husband one night said, "Your courage will bring you honor." And it was really meaningful for me at that time. I was getting ready to prepare for a really important interview for work, and you know, wanted to make sure that I you know, did well as, you know, maintained who I am. And it's hard to explain without going into too much detail about what it was, but I needed to remind myself to be courageous. And then that was perfect for that timing. And the first thing that I thought of in way of projects and things was Mulan, because her courage brings her honor, right? And they talk about courage and honor a lot in the movie, the Disney Mulan movie. And so I thought that was perfect. And I went looking for some patterns on Ravelry. I wanted something that it did some color work. I wanted it to be something that was more, not necessarily intricate, but, you know, something that was going to take me some time, a big project. And so I found the blur from Deanne. And that's actually how I discovered her and found out she had a podcast and all these amazing things. And then I knew I wanted to have the colors match. And so instead of trying to pick and choose something online, because I didn't have anything in my stash that would work, I contacted Molly of Molly Klein Designs. I had purchased some of her yarn, and I asked her to dye me some. And I told her what I was doing, and she was really excited about it. And so she dyed the yarn for me and sent it and made me a project bag and all kinds of great stuff. And then my blur shawl came into existence. And I do absolutely love it. And it's nice and squishy. It's a sock yarn. I believe it's 75-25. It might be 80-20. It's in my notes, in my Ravelry stuff. I'll put it in all in the information in there. And it's fingering weight. And it's, you know, so many beautiful colors that really do represent Mulan. So it starts off, the top 3 colors are representative of kind of the beginning of the movie where she's wearing her outfit to go see the matchmaker. And so the green and the blue and the pink. And then it moves into the yellow to the gold as kind of the in-between. And then the red and the black are from her like warrior outfit. And so just the 2 different sides of her, and then the gold being representative of like the medal that she gets from the emperor, and kind of the outer things that they give her to show her honor and her success. And so yeah, and it's been a lot of fun wearing it, figuring out how to wear it, because it is so big. If you have like reference photos of how you wear big shawls and scarves and things like this, please do send me some links to those, because I would love to see how other people are wearing it. Right now I've just got it wrapped, so this is the middle, and I've got it wrapped around a couple times on the ends, and then I pinned it with the shawl pin to try to keep the ends from flying all over everywhere. But it's nice, and I've gotten a lot of compliments on it so far, and I've only been out in public in it and like for maybe 3 times. So it's going well so far. Yeah, so this is my blur, and I'm really excited about it. After I finish this, I'm pretty sure I actually finished crocheting it on Sunday after I filmed my last podcast. And then I blocked it, and it took a couple days to dry because it was so big. And after I finished it, I was just like... So, and I've been seeing this, other people have been talking about this on Instagram, and I actually talked to someone about this earlier today, about how after you finish a big project like that, it's like anything. You finish a really good book, or you, you accomplish something that you had been working really hard toward, and there's just kind of that like, well, what do I do now? So I didn't really crochet too much for a day or two, and I wasn't really feeling it. I didn't have my crochet groove going. Like, I was kind of having to make myself work on things, and I don't want to do that. So I actually tried some other stuff, and one of the things that I tried is my second finished object. So I have to do a spoiler alert. If my mommy, if you're watching this, look away, because this is your birthday present that I'm going to give you on Sunday, next Sunday. And I'll put down, if you are watching, the time you should scrub forward to so you don't see your project. But yeah, so I got this kit. And I don't remember if I showed you the kit because I didn't want to spoil it because I'm giving it to my mom. But I know that I'm not going to be able to record before I give it to her because I'm giving it to her next Sunday, when I will probably not be recording because my birthday, her birthday, anniversaries, all that kind of fun stuff. Anyway, so this is it. It's a cross-stitch kit that I got. The kit is from Steph of Sew Cross Handmade on Etsy, so I'll put in all the links. And the only thing I have left to do is to glue all of this stuff in and to put the felt on the back, because right now when it's up to the light you can kind of see where the thread is on the back, but once you put the felt on you'll be able to see that. But isn't that so pretty? It says mom with a little heart, and it's got the cute contrast colors, and I just think it's really, really cute. I believe this is a 6-inch hoop. It might be a 5. But the kit came with the hoop, the fabric, the Ida, the way more thread than I needed. Came with the thread, a needle, the felt for the backing, the instructions, all that kind of fun stuff. So this is my first finished cross stitch project, and I loved it so much that I got more cross stitch stuff. So I'll show you that later. And it was so easy and kind of methodical, and something that I could just do, that I didn't have to think really hard about, because it is relatively easy to do. Because, you know, you come up one corner of the box, you go down the other corner of the box, and you just keep doing that until you make all the right boxes. And something very comforting about it being in a grid and everything having its place. Something very comforting about that. And then finishing it. It took me an evening to get it done, so it was really quick. And that was with, you know, figuring out how to do some things like, do you start from the bottom, you start from the top, like how do you, if you need to go through the same hole, like how do you do that? And so, yeah, it was a lot of fun to figure out. I had a lot of fun making it. So that's my second and last finished object. Oh, and the kit was it came from the UK. And so after the conversion and everything with shipping, it was like $25, $26 and change. So it was a pretty good deal for something like that, for that kit. So, yay! And oh, you know what? You know why you haven't seen it? It's because it just came in the mail this week. That's why. And I went ahead and worked on it because it looked like fun. And it came from the UK, so it took like 2 weeks to get here, but that was perfect because we're not seeing each other for our birthdays until next Sunday. So it's perfect. Anyway, okay, so moving on to works in progress. I have worked on a couple that you've already seen, and then I've started some new ones. So I've been telling you about this for a while, but this week, the first part of the pattern was released. This is my bag from Molly for my blur shawl. The first part of the pattern was released for the Malia shoulder bag. So I told you about this when I bought the yarn, but Rebecca Langford, now of Yarn and Chai, is doing a crochet along for the Malia shoulder bag, which is a pattern that I've made a couple of times. I did her cal for a couple different patterns last fall, and oops, things are falling over. And it wasn't the dog this time, or the cat. Go figure. Anyway, so she released the first part of the pattern, so I'm about halfway done. This is going to be basically a purse, and this is we're starting from the bottom, and it's going to be crocheted as a tube, and then we'll sew the bottom together to make it into a flat bottom bag. And I'm using Lion Brand 24/7 cotton. This is the Jade colorway, and then I also have a crew for the tops because it's a two-tone. And so yeah, this is the first part. It takes a really long time because it's a relatively thin yarn and a tiny hook and lots of single crochets, but it's working up well. There have been a lot of people like debating on the Facebook group about sizing and stuff, and I just don't care. So I haven't really worried about it, but the way she's doing the cowl is she's releasing a different part of the pattern every week. So we started this last Tuesday with the bottom part. This coming Tuesday will be the main body, and then the third week will be the top part, the sewing the bottom and putting in the handles. And that'll be that. So that's going along nicely. And I love the Malia patterns, and I'm really excited to have my first purse-like bag. I've made a couple of other bags, but they're more like project bags or really small kinds of things. So yeah, so I've got that going. I also started a new project that I told you I kind of started it last week, but just barely. So I've been working on it some more. This is living in my cat bag from Hookabee. And this is the Leafy Boughs shawl. So this is a lace scarf slash shawl pattern. It's from, the pattern is by Heather Gibbs. It's a free pattern. The Malia shoulder bag is free too, by the way, without ads. You have to pay for it. So this is from the Happily Hooked magazine from their March Cal. And I'll show you some, I'll put up some pictures so you can see close up of the actual pattern. It's supposed to look like little leaves. The original's done in green for their March, you know, March green, St. Patrick's Day, all that kind of fun stuff. Springtime, that kind of thing. But I decided this would be perfect, and I wanted to go ahead and give it a try. And I'm not really doing it for the cal because I don't know if I'm going to finish it by the end of the month. It's just kind of something I work on as I go. But I wanted to use up my Red Heart. It's a wrap. So I showed you this when I bought it. It's a super fine #1 yarn. This is the colorway Drama. So dramatic. And I just bought it because I was in a lacy mood and it seemed really interesting. I wanted to try it. And then it ended up, this project was perfect for it. So it's it's 50% cotton, 50% acrylic. So it'll also be great for spring and summer. And so there's that. And that's moving along. It's just an 8 pattern repeat. I did the first 2 repeats. I skipped a row for some reason, but then I started doing it and I was like, yeah, it looks fine. You'll never notice. I don't know if I have a picture here of what it's supposed to look like. This kind of gives you an idea of what it's supposed to look like. So, yeah. And I think they originally did it in sheepies. But I had this, so why not? And I'm using the chart. The chart's a lot easier for this particular pattern to read. But it's not a complicated pattern at all. It's a really nice kind of while you're watching TV, doing other things kind of project to work on. And so that is in the works. And then things you have seen before that I am continuing to work on. Where did I go? Did I not grab? Oh, nope. Sitting right in front of my face. But worse, snake, it would have bit me. One of my chicken bags from KT and the Squid is housing my knitted knockers. So this is actually a finished knocker, but you need them as a set. So it's technically still a work in progress because I need to do the second one. But I finished the first one. And so this is for the Knitted Knockers Cal, which is being done by Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet. It's close on that one. And what it is Knitted Knockers is a charity that provides knitted and crocheted breast prosthetics for women who've had mastectomies and you knit or crochet them. I'm crocheting them, obviously. And then you send them and they stuff them and give them to women who need them for free. So I'm really excited that Hannah is doing this cal, both a K and a C cal, because you can either crochet or knit them. And so this is the first one. This is a size double D. And you can see the back there. And this is done in Cascade Farms Ultra Pima Fine. It's 100% Pima cotton. And it's really soft. And it works up really nicely. They have tutorial videos and everything. I'll put all the links in. And after the first one, I still have this much of a ball left. So I think I'm going to start on a new ball because I don't want to run out. I don't want to put knots and things in them. But then I'll get that second one done. And then I'll have my set, and I'll have to figure out if I'm able to make more or not based on how much yarn I have left. There we go. So that's my knitted knockers, crochet knockers. And then the last whip that I'm going to show you is in my other chicken bag, because who doesn't love knitting chickens? I mean, come on. They're so cute. Oh wait, actually it's not. No, my last crochet work in progress I'm going to show you is my Oswin. So I've made some progress on this. I think last time you've seen it is 2 weeks ago. And so the stitch marker is showing us where we were last time. So I've made some good progress on it. And last time I showed it to you, I thought that I had done something wrong because the leaves weren't connected. But it turns out you just have to keep going in the pattern. And so luckily I looked at the pattern and figured out that I had not messed up. I just needed to keep going. So that was before I ripped anything out. So that was good. But it's going well. The pattern is by Bernie Ollier. I'm just going to keep pronouncing it like that because I don't know any better. And the yarn is the Yarn Over Truck Lace in Marbled Blue. And it's going. I'm about halfway through the increase section. And then there's a decrease section. And then you pin it out pretty aggressively because it's a lace weight shawl. And it's going to be beautiful. And as long as I have it done by June, which is when I would like to wear it for the special ceremony that I have for work, then it'll be good. It'll be fine. And so I do have another work in progress. You've seen this before, but I've made more progress on it. I'm almost done, actually. And that is my embroidery hoop. So this is a free pattern from Cutesy Crafts, and she has a tutorial series on YouTube on how to make it. So I've been following her videos. Yeah, the lighting's not gonna be great, so I will post a picture of it. And so she shows you how to do some really basic things. This is a woven wheel stitch with a French knot in the middle. These are fishbone, these leaves, and then this is, oh, I'm gonna forget what it's called. It's like a modified something. I'll put it up. I'll look it up and then I'll put it up there because I can't remember. And then more French knots. And then there's some back stitching in some of the stems. And then I think she said she does the lettering and back stitching as well, at least to outline it. And it says bloom in the middle. So yeah, I'm feeling really good about this. It's gone well. It's also relatively easy to do, and so I'm looking forward to finishing this so that I can also try that kit that I showed you from Hofelt and Hooper. Hofelt and Hooper? And yeah, embroidery. Why not? That's been good times. Yeah, so speaking of embroidery and cross stitch, we can move to Stashay Away. This is gonna be a really short video because I've been really busy with work. And I didn't buy a lot of stuff, which is a good thing for my wallet. Anyway, cross-stitch stuff. I've mentioned before, oh goodness, that I work at a church. And we had a crafting event yesterday, and I'll show you. I guess that's technically a work in progress, too. It's not anything that I'm going to, like, keep learning how to do, but it was fun to do it. But one of my members gave me this beautiful box as a birthday present, because my birthday is this week. Don't lose the shawl pin. And so it's one of those really nice boxes that you can get at like Michael's and Joann's for holding all of your crafty bits. And so then of course I had to go to Michael's and get some crafty bits to put in it. And so I will show you some of the things that I got. Some things are basic, needles, Ida fabric, that kind of thing. But I also got, they had this really cute cross-stitch kit. So it's a little pineapple and it says sweet. And I like the colors. It looks like you do some overlapping interesting things. So it looks like fun. Good way to practice. And then I'm gonna make a couple of things for my sister for her birthday, which I will not show you, and I'll tell you why later, but anyway. So I went ahead and got the DMC for that, and then I got a box to put it in so I can start storing it a little bit easier. So I wrapped all of those last night, and I'm currently keeping them in numerical order. We'll see if I stick with that or not. Some thimbles, because my fingers were starting to hurt. I got some hoops. I got some more clasps and stuff for stitch markers, because I have some really cute charms on the way from Etsy. And then I'll show you what I got, what we did at the church event. So one of our members is a quilter. She sews and all that kind of fun stuff. And this isn't it. It's still in my purse because I took it to show at church today. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So this is it. So it's a version of applique with some sewing. And so she brought the tea towel, she brought some scrap fabric and things, and then I forget exactly what it was called, but it's some kind of like heat transfer sticky stuff. So you draw on one side of the heat transfer paper, whatever it's called, and we traced some stencils or some patterns, and then you take your fabric and you put them together and you iron on it, and then you cut out the final image, because when you cut it first you give it a little space so that you can cut right on the line after you put the fabric on it. And then you peel the back off of the heat paper stuff, and then you put it on your whatever you're gonna put it on. For us it was kitchen towels. And then you iron it again, and it sticks. And in order to keep it that way so that the corners and the edges and stuff don't come up, you sew it. And I think this was called a bookend stitch, I want to say. And I don't know anything about sewing. But it kind of looks like bookends. And I did the middle, and I think, you know, it looks a little weird because it pulled. I think if I wanted it to not do that, I would do little teeny tiny stitches. I don't know whether or not I want to do that, but we'll see. Because I still have to do the rest of it and do the stitching, and I'll just do that off and on as I go. But it was a lot of fun. So we had a really good time doing all of that, and it got me into the sewing mood, so I did my embroidery a little bit more today. Got some more of that done. But I think it's really cute. And it's just a kitchen towel. You can do what you want with it. It's functional, which is great. And she gave us an extra towel, so I might try some embroidery on that as well and have some fun with that. So at Michael's, along with my cross-stitching stuff, I went to a different Michael's, and they had a really sad yarn section, but because it doesn't seem like people really go there a lot for yarn, they had yarns that you might not have at other Michael's because they get bought up really fast at the other Michael's. So they had some of the new chunky cakes, and these colors called out to me, so I got some of these. This is rainbow jellies. So rainbow colors. I show them a little bit darker in the camera, but really cute. And they had a pattern, one of those tear-off ones for a popcorn pillow. I thought this would make a really cute pillow. This calls for 4. This is a really big pillow. What is it? The final pillow. It doesn't tell you how big the final pillow is. Oh, a 24-inch pillow form. So I assume it's 24 inches by 24-inch square. So I can be half that. I'm fine with that. So I guess I only got 2 of these because they are 10 bucks a piece. I don't really need a $40 pillow. Anyway, I thought that was really cute. And so I got those. And then I was actually talking to someone about this on Instagram because they were watching some of my other videos. about different things and like commenting on some of my projects. And we were talking about cotton cakes. So I'm under the impression that these have been discontinued because I do not see them anymore anywhere anymore. And they had these in the clearance. So I just bought the rest of what they had. They were like $3. And there are two that so I got 6 altogether, and there are 2 sets. So 2 of one color, 2 of another color, and then 1 each of 2 different other colors. Yeah, I know what I mean. And so I got a couple of those because I've used these before. If you look at my Instagram, you'll see the first bag I ever made was out of those. But it was the first time I'd ever crocheted in a round outside of an amigurumi. I had no idea what I was doing, and so the bag is like this big. But then I made another bag. My mom always jokes with me because I was making this when we were on a family vacation. We were camping, and she kept saying it was going to be a hat. It's a really big hat. And this is actually housing currently a hibernating blanket I'm making for my niece and nephew, which will hopefully get done by next winter. But this is the Karen cotton cakes, and I love these colors, like the muted kind of pastel rainbow. It's a flat bottom bag. This is why it looked like a hat at first, because they started with that. Kind of looks like a anyway, I can't think of it. Anyway, looks like a hat until it becomes a giant bag. Anyway, so I love the Karen cotton cakes, and then after I made that bag, I think they had started to discontinue it, so I could never find it anywhere. So I bought all the Karen cotton cakes I could find, and then they also have these new big cakes, and I saw these colors, and seeing it makes me want to make things. So I got 2 of these. This is the color Summer Berry Tart. And I adore these colors. And I think I'm going to go ahead and making something because it makes me want to make things. And so I found a pattern last night on Ravelry that other people have made. The pattern does not call for this yarn, but other people have made it in this yarn. And this is 100% acrylic, I think. Yeah, 100% acrylic. So what I found was the Wrap Me in Diamonds shawl, or it's more of a scarf. Wrap Me in Diamond scarf. It's by Jessica Underwood of Stitching Together. It is a paid pattern. I think it was like $2.99 US dollars. And she made it in mandala, Lion Brand mandala. Genie, I think, is this color. And then she cuts out one of the colors that she doesn't like. Oh, this is Warlock. Excuse me. In Warlock. And so you can see. And so other people have made it in regular Karen cakes. Some people have made it in the big cakes. But I like the way that it's kind of lacy. It's got a really interesting pattern, but it keeps the colors blocked together. Because I'm really into that right now for some reason. I like it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start on that and make this. I don't know how big it's going to be. I may get part of the way through and think this is entirely too huge. It can be smaller. It may end up being more like a wrap. Who knows? Whatever. It's a relatively simple pattern, repeat. So yeah. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And so that pattern is also part of my stash away because I just purchased that last night. And yeah, it's these colors, man. The gray with the rainbow, I can't. And the pastels, I can't help myself. I have to make it into something. And if I think of other things, I think this would make a really cute kids blanket or pillow, or this would be really cute pillow and stuff too, or yeah, I think I'm gonna end up getting more of these. If they start discontinuing the big cakes, I'm gonna be really upset because Karen keeps discontinuing things that I like and then I can't find them anymore. So I think that is it. We are only at 35 minutes and I am done, which is insane. Updates about the podcast, which are related to my life, of course, because my life impacts this podcast. This week is my birthday, and so this next weekend is going to be insane, so I will not be recording next week. And then the week after that is Easter, which is also insane because I work in a church. We really like Easter. And so I may or may not record that Sunday. It'll depend on how things go and how tired I am and if I have anything to show you because I've been so busy. So it's possible that it'll be 3 weeks before I see you again because that's 2 Sundays out of the running. But then the next episode, I'll have a million things to show you. So yeah, I think I'm going to try to record something that week after Easter. I was going to take vacation, but now it's kind of like some 1 or 2 vacation days, not the whole week. But I still want to do my tatting video. I want to do a lot more tatting so I can actually show you some tatting because, you know, what's the point of having a crochet and tatting podcast if you're not doing any tatting? I did make a couple more bookmarks this week, but I've sent them off to people as gifts. So what are you going to do? It looks the same as the other one. Yeah, so that's where we are. And hopefully I will see you soon. And I've been enjoying watching other people's podcasts. I've started watching a couple of new ones, but I'm still catching up. And so I will hopefully have some recommendations to give you next time. And if you have any pattern suggestions for the cotton cakes, anything you've really liked that you've made, I think maybe some fun like dishcloths or hand towels or things would be fun with that. Or the chunky cakes, or even, of course, the big cakes. Please do send me some pattern suggestions. Also, if you have anywhere that you really like for finding cross-stitch and embroidery patterns, I'd appreciate that as well, because I'm new in that world. And finding hoops. So the bloom hoop is supposed to be on a 7-inch hoop, and I cannot find a 7-inch hoop anywhere to save my life. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. And I think this is a 9. I might try putting it in the 8. I may even try seeing if the 6 fits over it. Let's see. Let's do an experiment together, shall we? Oh, there's no way the 6 is going to fit. Yeah, that's like right on the edge there. Not everything would even fit in it, so that's not going to happen. What about the 8? Let's try the 8. That's not too bad. It's still a little big. Maybe if you have somewhere online that you like to buy embroidery or cross-stitch stuff from, if you're into those kinds of things, I would appreciate it because I'd like for it to fit in a hoop, especially because if that's what it's made for, is to sit in the hoop as decoration. So what are you going to do? But yeah, so thank you all so much for watching. Please do, again, like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell and all that kind of fun stuff. Last I checked, which was this morning, there were 199 subscribers, which is insane. And I'll definitely have another giveaway, probably not a 200 because it's really close to the 100, but maybe 250 or 3. And we'll have some fun with that. And I'll have all those new stitch markers because I have stuff coming for those. And maybe some little mini cross stitch because I'm having a lot of fun with that too. And just being super crafty and loving it. I am so jealous of everyone that I'm seeing at the Edinburgh Yarn Festival. And maybe one day I'll make it. We are talking about going to Rhinebeck this year. And by we, I mean me dragging my husband. I'm sure he could figure out some work thing to do while we're there. And then maybe we can go visit my in-laws. Hi, Jody. So, thanks again. I will see you soon. If I don't see you soon via YouTube because I'm taking a couple weeks off, then I will see you on Instagram because I still plan on posting and showing you all the fun stuff that I'm doing. And then, of course, I will see you in all of your various locations. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.